everybody, it's Audrey and Avery and we're back with another video. So where is Avery? Avery's actually in the back here. We are on our way to a property. So it's Saturday, but Saturdays for us looks, it varies. It looks very different. We try to keep the weekends for family, especially Sundays, but Saturdays we kind of leave as a flex day. So today is a little more hybrid where we're going to be going out to a property. We have to drop off a lockbox and get some things ready and really try to find some creative ways to lease it, right? So it's over in High Springs. It's a beautiful property, beautiful home, 5-bedroom, 3-bath. They've done an excellent job taking care of it. But unfortunately, we just haven't been able to find a renter for it yet. So we want to get creative and make sure we continue to push that. And then we may also stop by our other property that we're putting on the market. And little Miss Avery, y'all have to excuse her. So I never know if she's going to laugh or cry while she's in this car ride. And right now I think she is sleepy. So she's trying to get comfortable. And the only problem with my day today is that whenever she finally gets comfortable, we're at our next destination, right? So a lot of times she gets a little irritable. So there are times during the day when I know I have a little extra time, I stop and I like to spend that time with her. We go out for walks and we do all of that in the middle of the day. As long as everything else is being taken care of, I like to do that with her because I know, she's my ride. she's my rider, right? So she's with me all the time, and I want to make sure that I have a balance for her as well, that it's not always in and out of the car, and she's not frustrated in that sense. Anyway, so that's my little baby. So we're heading out to do those things today. But I was just thinking, because earlier today I got in a little bit of a spat with my hubby, and we never really argue, but hearing his perspective on things. Sometimes, he's very straightforward about everything, and he likes things in order, which I can't take from him, right? So he loves things in order, and I wound up missing a response to an email out to one of our customers, and of course he said something about that. And I got a little frustrated because I'm like, you see all the other stuff that we're doing to try to make sure that we align the business in regards to not just making our own salary, but to really like expanding it and growing it. You see everything that I'm doing. Why are you mad with me about an email that hasn't even been 24 hours yet, right? So I got a little frustrated with him. But then as I was sitting there thinking about it, I of course realized that he's absolutely correct. When it comes to our employees, like for instance our admin, it's something that's required. You're looking at those emails, don't even let an hour pass before you at least get some sort of response, even if it's just received, right? Even if it's just, I got it, here's the time frame when I can get you an actual response, or whatever the response is. And then by the end of the business day, our admin has to have responded to everybody, right? So, and just thinking about it a little more clearly, right? Later on, I'm like, if we're gonna hold our team to a certain standard, then of course, there's nothing wrong with him holding me to the same standard, regardless of what's going on. And he's definitely not the type for excuses, regardless of what's going on. But I really had to think about that in a little more detail and really just put the mirror back on myself, right? And say, you got to get yourself in order, because if this is a direction that you're going with the business, and we're for our business, we're calling it GPS 2.0, all the things there, right? So just in our head, really getting in the mind space, this is almost like it's a new business. It's almost like it's under new management. It's, we have to think about it in that vein, because we've updated, we've changed, we've done all these things. And we want to make sure we're great stewards over what it is that God has given us. So if we're going to be great stewards, we can't just say, okay, well, we're going to be great stewards over it when we have all the properties that we want. We have to say we're going to be great stewards over it, period. God, whether you give us 5 properties or you give us 500 properties, we're going to be a great steward over them all. Whether it's 500 properties, whether it's 5,000 properties, we're going to be a great steward over them all. So I'm at a point right now where I'm literally holding a mirror up to myself. And I really do treat my life like that, where it's, yeah, there's a lot of times where I could look at other people and say, oh, you could have did this and you could have did that, you know, whatever. But I found everything to be more successful when I have taken a look. I found everything to be more successful when I've taken a look at myself. And I said, hey, self, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to change. This is what you need to update. And what I found is that when that happens, then everything else trickles down. And I'm sure my husband, you know, thinks the same in his regard. As the leader of our household, as the leader of the ship, as the leader of our legacy, you know, as he holds himself to a certain standard, then everything else trickles down. So I'm kind of in that season right now, holding that mirror up to myself and really just making it up in my mind that, you know, we're going to make this happen. And as you guys can see, you know, this really does become my day-to-day. This really does become, you know, my drives. And for this particular property, you know, we still got a bit in for this drive, and I'm really hoping she kind of cries herself to sleep. But if not, then I have to deal with hollering baby all the way to this appointment, you know. And you know, sometimes it is what it is, until she becomes of age where she's a little more used to the car seat and a little more used to the rides, you know. But yeah, so I just kind of had that thought there, and just holding the mirror up to myself and how important it is to make sure that in this whole process and in this whole journey that I don't even allow myself any excuses. I don't give myself the allowances of not getting something done. And the other thing I was really thinking about, because when it came to this email, it made me mad because I'm a hard worker, and I go extremely hard. But what I have noticed is that there has been a difference since I had my baby. There's been a difference in just my mind. There's been a difference in my memory, and I have been a little more forgetful than what I normally would be. I have been more forgetful than what I would be. So I was thinking about that as well, because it's not just a matter of saying, okay, I won't do it anymore, but really understanding what the source of it is, and how can I make sure and truly say, okay, this is a standard that I can really meet. And one of those things is I have to deal with my mind. So I looked it up. I know while I was pregnant, a lot of people was talking about pregnancy brain and things like that. And I was just trying to see if it's something that continues after you have your baby. And from what I'm finding, it is. So what I need to make sure, if this is my new normal, especially being a business owner and having to get things done, if this is going to be my new normal and I am a little more forgetful than I would normally be, then I have to be able to put things in place where it helps support that, right? So also this weekend, you know, hopefully Avery and I get an opportunity to have a little bit of self-care this weekend. My nails absolutely need to be done. I want to be able to style my hair a little differently. So hopefully I get a chance to go to the nail shop, you know, get a pedicure, you know, do her hair and all that good stuff. But while I'm doing that, I really want to be able to figure out a good routine. So I watch a lot of you know, people who are homemakers and things like that, and just kind of see what their schedule is and kind of how they handle their day. And one thing that I thought was helpful was not necessarily setting a schedule. I mean, besides my scheduled appointments, but not necessarily.
In about 10 miles, turn left onto Northwest 190th Street.
But coming up with a real routine of, okay, you know, once I wake up, this is what I'm doing. You know, after I eat lunch, this is what I'm doing. Like that sort of thing. And I think if I come up with a solid routine, that it'll help me kind of fill in the gaps where my mind and my memory now lack. So that's what I'm working on today. Out here getting it. And again, just in business in general, we out here building a business one contract at a time, one thing at a time. And sometimes you just have to look at all things. You have to look at the big things and the small things. Like right now, we're looking to get at least 10 to 15 new contracts in the next 30 days. So, you know, that's nothing that we can kind of sit on and fold our hands on. It's something that we have to get up, move, and do in order to meet our goals. So we're going to keep you guys posted on kind of where we are with that and just keep doing the things that we know to do and learn new things, you know, things that we haven't necessarily done, learning those things and making it happen. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and probably put on a little bit of music until we get to our destination. Hopefully this little one gets to sleep. I'm going to stop talking because as long as she hears my voice, you know, she's going to want to be held. So I'm going to stop talking